that they can decide to implement the changes that they see necessary to live a better life. But changing one person is not enough. The world must also change its perspective. In fact, studies show that ex-offenders who feel that they are accepted by society are much less likely to reoffend. And because of this, we also teach the general public about the various life situations that most of these inmates often face. I have worked with all kinds of crimes, from murders and sexual assault to blackmail and fraud. And the one thing that I have found to be most in common with all of them is never having experienced unconditional love and acceptance, especially throughout their childhood. And in fact, this makes me think of my very first client. He was a 35-year-old male who was abandoned by his mother at 13 years old. She was struggling with a very severe drug addiction, and she cast him out at the request of her partner. Homeless, alone and afraid, this little boy had to make bad choices that were born not out of malice, but out of the will to survive. So how long must this little boy be punished? At which point do we, as a society, decide to extend our hands instead of turning our backs? Miss World stands for beauty with a purpose that transcends all crowns and titles, because true beauty lies in kindness, in second chances, and in believing that no one is beyond redemption. I believe no one is born bad. They are simply changed by the life situations that they face. And when they find the courage to change, we must find the courage to embrace them. It is only when we accept, uplift, and love each other unconditionally that we create a world where hope is not just imagined, but it becomes real. Thank you. Grazie ħafna.
Thank you very much. And now we move to Moldova.
Hello world, namaste. My name is Angelina and I'm representing Moldova. Where I came from, people don't dream of changing the world. They dream of surviving it. Difficult childhood, farmer's family, small village, taught me the importance of kindness, hard working, and discipline. But I always had a big dreams. I'm only 22 years old, but now I'm reached more than I can imagine as a little girl. I create beautiful spaces. I'm interior designer, gym owner, and fitness coach, helping women discover their power and confidence, being strong not just outside but inside too. I speak French and currently learning Italian for my work, but my biggest passion is fashion. I'm preparing for studying in the Paris University. I want to be a clothing designer, and I've already taken my first steps. My national costume at Miss World opening ceremony has been made by my own sketch. As each of us, I have a dream to create a world where every woman can feel safe, seen, and free to live. Because women, they are like the flowers of our planet. If you water them, they bloom. If you hurt them, they die, they fade, and everything around is dying too. And this is my purpose, to support, to protect these beautiful flowers. In Moldova, many women still suffer domestic violence. Last year, more than 16,000 cases reported. In rural areas, the situation is even worse because nowhere to go, no shelter, no support, nothing, just silence. We all have our own pain, but someone can talk about it, someone are not. But I have my team. Someone is doctor, someone is psychologist, someone is lawyer, but together we are doing important things for my country. Our goal is to grow into a shelter where women can start again. In Moldova, domestic violence is not just a statistic, it's a silent epidemic. Because abuse destroys not just the body, but the soul, leaving women and children without future. I've already helped several families, and I'm proud that people started repeat it after me. And how can be powerful just voice? Miss World stage is the opportunity to turn our voices into millions. I'm stressed, I'm nervous, but I know that I'm doing something important right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Moldova. Can we now please welcome Montenegro?
Hello world, my name is Andrea Nikolic and I proudly represent Montenegro. In fact, today is Montenegro's Independence Day, so I would like to use this opportunity to congratulate to all people of my country. Thank you. I'm a law student and an active member of European Law Students Association. Besides law, one of my greatest passions is literature. And that's why I'm so deeply honored to be here, in the land of the greatest Rabindranath Tagore, a Nobel Prize winner for literature, in the land of the greatest wisdom sources, Ramayana and Mahabharata. I write columns about negative norms that are imposed by our society on women. I write about how often they get objectified and expected to raise their families on their own. I portray women and strong gender, and with an incredible strength of bringing new life to the world. However, my columns do not spare anyone. So with the rise of social media, I noticed all the negative impact it has on young women. So I want to share the values I deeply believe in, especially naturality, in both context of appearance and behavior. I believe naturalness is the gift we all receive by birth. Yet, many of us fail to appreciate it. So we change how we look through cosmetic procedures. We change how we behave in order to fit in. And then what happens? We become
our hearts to make a real difference. And I cannot change the world on my own. And I would love to, but that's just not the case. But I'm trying my hardest best, and it's just a quick reminder that every small action can make a big difference on someone's life. And this is why I stand here today, not only to share my story, but also to inspire all of us to take part of the change. Because I believe that together we can create a world where no one is left behind and everyone has the opportunity to succeed. Thank you for listening to my story, and thank you for supporting my mission to make this world a better place.
And thank you, Netherlands, for making it a better place. Thank you. And now we welcome Northern Ireland.
Hello everyone, Namaste world. I am Hannah Johns. I am your Miss Northern Ireland, and I am a small country. I'm from a small country in the UK, Northern Ireland, and that is not just my story. I'm also a shy girl. Entering Miss Northern Ireland was one of my biggest fears, but honestly, I was so glad I overcome that. My twin sister was the one that pushed me to do this, and without her, I wouldn't be here today. I'm so proud of who I've become because I'm not only a voice for myself, but a voice for my patients at home and for all kidney patients around the world. And thank you for Miss World for giving us this opportunity to speak on kidney awareness. I'm a multicultural family. I'm half Canadian and half Northern Irish. My dad has also represented his country in rugby, and he's not only taught me how to be a leader, to lead by example, but also you don't need to be the loudest voice in the room to make an impact on people. And I really hope he's proud today. I have an identical twin sister, as I've said, and she is my biggest inspiration. And we both have helped each other grow throughout our whole lives. And I'm so proud to have had a twin sister, and I wish everyone has one. Unfortunately, that cannot be the case, but it's just the biggest blessing in my life. So I'm here to talk about my passion. My vocation is renal nursing. I've been working as a renal nurse for 3 years, and it has honestly been such a joy to my life to have this vocation. Kidney disease is an incurable illness, and treatment is very harsh and very scarce. Dialysis, you have to go 3 times a week for 4 hours. It is a very painful procedure as well. People are exhausted, have no energy. Also, hope is a very scarce thing as well, because transplant lists are long. People aren't able to be perfect matches. So people wait for years and years to get an opportunity of a second life. Globally, this is a big issue as well. The World Health Organization has deemed by 2040 that it's going to be the 5th leading cause of death by 2040. So this is a big issue. And 850 million people today live and are affected by kidney disease. So my beauty with a purpose is to empower the future. So I am an ambassador for Northern Ireland Kidney Research Fund, and with that we work with research fellows to dedicate resources to causes like genome technology to see if there's genes in patients that we can take out and stop genetically caused kidney disease. There's loads of different resources that are advancing kidney treatments here today. And where I am in Northern Ireland, it is the Centre of Excellence for living donor transplants. And that's the field which I work in. And I'm very proud of that. And that's all down to our amazing nephrologists and consultants like Ashley Courtney, who's spearheading this. So within kidney research, I've been doing fundraising campaigns. Not only that, but community events with renal patients, because it's not only a physical illness, it's a mental illness. Chronic illnesses are with you lifelong. So having a community of people that you can talk to and talk about your journey and talk about all the issues that you have is just, it's so necessary for our patients. I've also been a guest speaker in schools because it's not only the generation that have kidney disease now, but it's the younger generation that need to know about preventative measures and stuff like that to help them being better informed in their future. I've also met with government officials, which has been an incredible experience to get this platform to be able to do that, to have better health campaigns and health awareness in our country. And hopefully using this global platform, this can spread awareness around the world, not only just in my wee country. It is very important for me to be a voice for the voiceless. So thank you so much, Ms. World, for this opportunity. In conclusion, I believe in a world where we lift each other up, where girls are encouraged to speak proudly, where quiet strength can be a voice for change. From hospital wards to the Miss World stage, I'm ready to lead this charge. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Northern Ireland, if you go down that staircase and come up this staircase, we can pretend it's your twin. No, get two goes, 2 bites of the cherry. Thank you, well done. Now please welcome North Macedonia.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for having me. My name is Charna Nevzati, and I am honored to represent the Republic of North Macedonia on the Miss World global stage. I am 20 years old, born and raised in Skopje, and currently a law student at Justinianus Primus Law School in Skopje. I am also a model and a public speaker, and I had the privilege of winning the Ivo Puhan oratory competition, where I had the ability to speak about who pays the price of war and terrorism. And sadly, I think we all know the answer to that question, and that is innocent people, innocent lives being taken away. Truly an experience that deepened my belief in the power of words to bring change. What drives me is justice and compassion. Law for me isn't just a profession. It's a way to stand up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. I come from a country rich in culture and spirit. Macedonia is the birthplace of St. Kirill and Methodius, or in our language, Sveti Kirili Metodi, creators of the first Slavic alphabet, and home to Ohrid, one of Europe's oldest and most beautiful cities. This year marks North Macedonia's return after the name change on Miss World after more than a decade, and I am proud to be the one bringing our voice back to the global stage. Regarding my Beauty with a Purpose project, I focus on helping those who suffer in silence on our streets. Stray animals. Sadly, in Skopje and beyond, many animals are abandoned and mistreated. Through this project, I support local shelters, organize donation drives, raise awareness, and advocate for stronger animal protection laws. As a future lawyer, I believe justice must include all living beings. These animals can't speak, but they feel pain, joy, and love, just like we do. And they deserve to be seen, heard, and protected. Miss World is more than a crown. It's a platform, a chance to make a difference. From the streets of Skopje to this international stage, I carry with me the heart of my country and a mission to be the voice of the voiceless. Thank you.
Thank you very much, North Macedonia. Hello and welcome to Poland.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, Mrs. Morley, dear Christine, all the judges, and all of you sisters, and hello, the world. My name is Maja Klajda, and I'm representing my country, Poland. I'm 22 years old. My greatest passion is folk dancing, sports swimming, fashion, and also psychology. That is why I am a psychology student at the University of Warsaw. I do believe that in the future, I will have a real impact on mental health of children and young people. One of my beautiful purpose projects is conducting original workshops for children and young people about mental health prevention. I have conducted 40 workshops for more than 2,000 teenagers. The project helps them better understand themselves, reduce peer aggression, show them the constructive ways to solve the problems, and explain what exactly mental health is. I am also taking care of mental health of children and teenagers from Growing Up Zone Foundation, where I became a full-time volunteer. The foundation takes care of children who grew up in conditions that prevent proper psychosocial development. Together, we learn motor skills, helps with education, and doing a lot of fun work outside or inside the foundation. Yes. I once heard that the best gift you can give someone is the one they can't afford themselves. That's why I created second project, my original project, and I took a little boy to Barcelona to see his favorite soccer team, FC Barcelona, game match live. So I created a project of making children's dreams come true. I am also an ambassador of Miss Polonia Foundation, which takes care of children with rare disease. I feel really committed to the little girl Michasia, who suffers from Rett syndrome. I am really close to her family because I were visiting them in their family home. I know her grandparents and I know her little sister. Together with her parents, we twice took part in one of the TV programs in Poland, and we create original social campaign calling for help. During Miss Polonia Foundation Charity Gala and Charity Gala in Chicago, we were raising money for her treatment. Each of those problems I told you are common around the world. Being Miss Polonia and Miss World platform has opened my mind for new ideas for helping charity. Being Miss World allows you to help those in need all around the world, which is soulful for me and it wings me. What I find really amazing in the Miss World role is that I can be a queen, but most of all, I am a representative of each of us, independent, strong woman, but also completely normal and with a good heart. For me, beauty with a purpose is a beautiful idea that not remains an idea. It has set directions, paths, and goals, and it is so inspiring to others that they want to continue it. I am extremely honored to stand here before you, and I do believe that fairness turns into true beauty when it is dressed in kindness. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank
Thank you, Poland. Now, welcome Portugal.
Thank you, Mrs. Morley and the Miss World organization for this moment. I am Maria Amélia, I'm 27 years old, and I am businesswoman in the hospitality industry, and I have degree in law. It's truly a privilege to represent Portugal and to share a story of hope, strength, and transformation. And congratulations to my fellow contestants for the incredible work they're doing to inspire change in your world. We are all women here, all fighting for the same kind of respect and health conditions to pursue your dreams. Tahani from Sudan, who fled for nothing but her children and the clothes on her back. Their stories reminded me of the power of being able to leave your house, your city, and your country for a better life. But unlike me, they didn't have a choice. They were forced to leave. I don't understand why we still see borders as barriers that make us different from one another. I know we have a different background and countless beliefs, But at our core, we want the same thing, to live and to live freely. Now, imagine facing all of life change without documentation or even basic needs fulfilled. It gets worse. Imagine your monthly cycle without access to clean water or hygiene products. And believe me, it can be even worse. Imagine discovering a lump in your breast and having no dog to turn into. This is the reality for millions of refugees and immigrants and young women today. So, my Beauty with a Purpose help young women, refugees, and immigrants get access to clean water and hygiene products. So, it's very important to me, I believe. Many people say, you are immigrant because I was born in Brazil, but my family is Portuguese. I love Portugal, and I'm Portuguese too. It's not just about providing help, it's about asking hard questions. Am I biologically different just because of the country I was born in? So I'm standing here today to say, look how far you've come. You can, I can, we can. Please do not let your borders define our destinations, because we have the power to redefine the very idea of borders. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you, Portugal. Now, coming up the stairs, it's Romania.
Hello everyone, my name is Alexandra Beatriz Catalin. I am 20 years old and I'm proud to be here and represent Romania at Miss World 2025. First, I want to say thank you. I feel very proud to be here. I feel very happy. It's a big dream for me. Every day, I try to live with kindness, discipline, and joy. I study, I work, I help my community, and I always try to grow. Beauty for me means action, heart, and purpose. My Beauty the Purpose project is called Together for Environment. More green areas in the city. In my city, Bucharest, I work to create more space green by planting areas and educating people about protecting the environment. Unfortunately, this subject is ignored, considered less urgent, but I believe it's one of the most important issues of our time. We cannot talk about a future without talk about a greener world. Every small step matters. A greener world is a better world. I want to thank you, Miss World organization, for this amazing opportunity. Thank you, my family, my team, and everyone who believes in me. Let's make the world not more beautiful, but also more kind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Romania. Now, please welcome Scotland.
Glass on. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing very well today. My name is Amy Scott, and if you can't tell from my surname or from my red hair, I'm very proudly representing Scotland this year at Miss World. I'm the little sister of 3 siblings, the twin sister of another, and the very proud auntie of a very beautiful little girl. I'm also the daughter of 2 remarkable parents who met while serving in the police. They didn't start off with very much, but with love, determination, and sacrifice, they were able to give me opportunities that they themselves never had. From my father, I learned to always go through life with a sense of humour, and that a kind heart is the best beauty. I myself didn't feel beautiful growing up. I had red hair, I had glasses, braces, severe acne, and in general, I was the tallest person in my class. I was taller than all of the boys. But through my parents, I learned that you're not born with confidence, it's something you build. Through my mum, I learned strength. When my mum had children, society expected her to take a step back. Instead, she became the first woman to go back to the police after having maternity leave. This is something I'm very proud of. She didn't only stop there, she grew to be one of the highest ranked police officers in the entire country. She taught me that a woman's place is where she chooses to be. I myself carry their values with me every single day, but I chose to go through a more creative path. I love fashion design, I love painting, and I love figuring out problems that face me in life. I live to create, to express, and to connect with people. I spoke about my family, but there's someone critical that I left out. Her name is Riza, and she is my cousin, but in reality, she's more like a sister. She was everything I wanted to be growing up. She was radiant, she was funny, she was confident. I still want to be like her to this day. But at 25 years old, she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Before I continue, I'd like to invite everyone to please close your eyes and please imagine what it'd be like to wake up tomorrow morning and be unable to hold your child, to be unable to button your shirt, to brush your hair, or to even take a few steps in front of you without uncontrollably shaking or losing your balance. Now imagine that that is your permanent reality and there is no cure. That is the reality of multiple sclerosis. It's a lifelong progressive condition that affects day-to-day activities that you wouldn't even think about. And movement that we take for granted fades. And unfortunately, when standing and speaking, it can become unpredictable and exhausting. Something that won't normally be publicised is the fact that it disproportionately affects women, with 3 out of 4 of the 3 million cases worldwide being diagnosed in women. It's diagnosed between the ages of 20 and 40 most commonly, and when that is the case, most women are starting their careers, they're starting relationships, and they're beginning their future. Mobility is a promise that we assume we have for the young, and we expect that it is lost in, let me take a second. We live under the assumption that mobility is a promise for the youth, and that loss of mobility is reserved for the elderly. That illusion for me was shattered when my cousin began to lose hers at the same age that I am today as I stand before you. I would trade places with her in a heartbeat if it meant I could take away any of her pain, her fear about her future, or her discomfort day to day, but unfortunately I can't. And so instead, I will dedicate my life to advocating for hers. It's a lifelong diagnosis, and so it's a lifelong commitment for me. That's why I want to use my platform to speak for women who feel that their future is slipping away and for people whose voices they feel are not heard. I want to remind people that they are not alone and never will be, not while I still have a voice. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you, Scotland. And as you applaud Miss Scotland, also put your hands together and send our best wishes to her cousin as well, please. Please now welcome Serbia.
Wow. Even stressful up here, honestly. Whew. No matter how much you prepare. Okay, hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Aleksandra Rutovic. I'm 26 years old, and I'm here to represent my country, Serbia. Miss World is a legacy for me due to a very special person in my life being Miss World Serbia 2007. She's my stepmom. It is she who inspired me, and also it was her and my father's idea to join. So here I am today. Anyway, I've always been passionate for nature, animals, and helping others. I used to live in the United States and Austria, where I studied tourism, hotel management, and hospitality. These experiences shaped me into someone who values cultural exchange, global connection, and open-mindedness. Alongside, I always loved sports. I competed in show jumping, and I spent my time hiking, running, scuba diving, and also I'm an ambassador for obstacle course races, which I absolutely love to run. I combined my love for nature with love for sports for my Beauty with a Purpose project. It is coral reef restoration. It all started unexpectedly when I adopted a shark through a marine project team, and I saw the beauty and the threats of coral reefs. That's when I decided I need to act. Coral reefs are known as rainforests of the sea. They protect coastlines, they support marine life, and they also provide food for millions of people. However, they are disappearing due to pollution and climate change. I traveled to Bali, Indonesia, where I worked with the amazing Bali conservation diving team. We built reefs, we moved the structures underwater. We also taught small children environmental lessons and cleaned the surroundings with them. And also we planted small fragments of corals underwater. It was a really life-changing experience, and it reminded me that small actions are powerful when they're done with love and a purpose. My need to help others made me join Heroine. It is an organization that supports women who are victims of violence in Serbia. And being part of their mission taught me that true strength is standing up for those who need protection, giving them hope and a voice. I truly believe that there is always a place to help, no matter who you are, where you come from, how big or small your act is. As long as you do it from heart, that is what matters. And that is the person I aspire to be, someone who will lift others up, protect what matters, and inspire people to believe that change begins with care. Thank you so much. Thank you. And sorry, may I approach to give you something? Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Serbia. Thank you. And as you come down, I will ask Slovenia to take to the stage.
Before I begin, can I please ask you something? Please close your eyes just for 5 seconds. Think of a moment when someone made you feel truly accepted. No pressure, no expectations, just seen. Now open your eyes. That feeling, that quiet moment is exactly what my Beauty with a Purpose project is about. Hi, my name is Alida Tomanic. I am 21 years old and I come from Ptuj, Slovenia, the oldest city in my country, full of history, art, and deep connection. I am a violinist, singer, a future architect, and an athlete. I am so proud to be Miss Slovenia 2023. But none of that truly matters unless I use it for something greater. Let me ask you honestly. Please, lift your hand if you personally know someone with a mental disorder. If you do, thank you. If you don't, I hope that one day you will, because they have so much to teach us and so much to offer. My story with this community didn't start with Miss Slovenia. It started way before that. My parents in their company have employed people with psychological challenges for years. As a teenager, I worked alongside them. I saw their dedication, their honesty, and their quiet strength. I learned from them long before I had a platform or a crown. So when I joined Miss Slovenia, we received training on how to communicate with people with special needs. It felt like home. It wasn't new, but it was real.
Soon after, I began volunteering at the Day Center for Adults with Special Needs. I started organizing creative workshops. We baked muffins, painted, folded origami, and we talked. But what we really created was love, trust, friendship. They welcomed me, not because I was Miss Something, but because I was simply a leader. They didn't judge. They didn't pretend. They just gave everything. And in return, I gave them something very special too. The crown I wear today was made by them. No, it's not gold, it's not shiny. It's made of wood, handcrafted with patience and pride by the people from that very same Day Center. It holds no diamonds, but it holds truth. It holds humanity. And for me, it is the most beautiful crown I could ever wear. Let me ask you one more thing. When you think of beauty, what image comes to your mind? Is it a face? Maybe dress? Or could it be a moment of kindness, of inclusion, of being truly seen and heard? I started sharing these moments on social media, and the response was overwhelming. People told me I made them see these individuals differently. That's when I realized my voice has power, not just for me, but for them. People with special needs are not broken. They are whole. They are strong. And when we give them space, they shine. They do not have special needs. We all have same needs. They just need a little help to achieve those little wins in their life. So I will leave you with this. When this event is over, whose story will you carry with you? Maybe mine, maybe theirs. But I hope deep down you carry the belief that beauty, real beauty, comes with a purpose. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Slovenia. Thank you. Just 4 more people to go in this morning's session. And the first of those is Spain.
Morning, everyone. My name is Corina, and I proudly represent Spain. Before I start, let me please tell you a story. Some years ago, I had the opportunity to give a speech in front of a huge public. When I finished, a lot of people came near to me to talk about it. One of them was a woman making strange movements that I didn't understand. Then I realized she was deaf. That was for sure a very embarrassing moment because I realized she didn't understand anything of my speech. And in that moment I didn't know, but that was the night I discovered my advocacy. That's why my campaign, Sign Language to the World, was born. Sign Language to the World, it's a project created to give a platform to the deaf community where their rights and needs are valued. And not only that, it is a platform for those ones who want to learn some information about them. Sign Language to the World, it's a platform that believes in the truly essence of beauty with a purpose. And one of our main beliefs is showing how important it is teaching and learning sign language as the first solution to create communication between deaf people and society. This is translated into giving talks in school to raise awareness directly to the future generations. Did you know the life expectancy of a deaf person is 5 years less than a hearing person? This is because deaf people avoid to go to hospitals due to the communication limitations between deaf people and doctor. That's why in Sign Language to the World, we work to highlight how important interpreters are, not only in hospitals, but also in every public building. Deaf community deserves to have the possibility to enjoy simple activities that, for example, without any restriction, going to the supermarket, going to the bank, make a console in the town hall, visit the post office. As I said, simple activities that for the rest of the society we make without no problem, but for deaf community becomes in a truly odyssey. And not only that, 1 month ago, Spain was shocked by the notice of a deaf university teacher who was invited to leave his job because that university didn't want to provide him of an interpreter to facilitate the lessons. And do you know something? This teacher left his job without any restriction or protection. That's why I fight every day to show the non-protection the deaf community is suffering. There are not protections and not laws that protects the deaf community rights. And when something like this happens, the only solution or the only tool we find is demonstrate to make ourselves be heard. The words that deaf teacher used while he was explaining his situation were, I feel humiliated in front of my students because of not having the necessary resources to teach. Humiliated. Isn't it too sad? How can we allow this and look to the other way? That night of my speech, that deaf woman, even she didn't understand anything of what I was talking about, decided to come near to me, and she showed me her best smile and her gratitude. She connected with me. And today being here, the deaf people spokesperson, it's my way to apologize this woman, and it's my way to show my gratitude to her. I only need something. I only need all of you joining me and believing in this purpose as much as that deaf woman believed in me that night. Because I believe in you, deaf community. That's what I'm here for you. Thank you.
Could I, Miss Spain, before you go, can you just do thank you again? Can everyone do sign language back to say thank you to Miss Spain? Can you do thank you?
I want to show you something better, if you let me.
Okay.
Do you want to say in sign language, Telangana Sarurana?
Oh, that's definitely what we want. Telangana Zarawana, there we go.
All with me, please. Telangana Sarur Ana. Thank you.
There we are. Thank you, Spain. Excellent. Thank you. Now, please welcome Sweden.
From musicals to figure skating, to the military, to modeling, to being a teacher, to rapping, to be my school's version of valedictorian, and hopefully one day help people through life as a priest. That's me, Isabel Ås, 20 years old from the south of Sweden. At the age of 14, I started my career in the military, in the Swedish Federation for Voluntary Defense Education and Training. I quickly understood that I had to work 10 times harder than all the men had to do just because I was a woman. But it wasn't until I sailed around Europe with the Swedish Navy that I truly understood what most women have to go through in man-dominated fields. We were a crew of 36 people, only 3 women. One day, my commanding officer took me to the side, away from the others, and he told me what he wanted to do to me that night, sexually. He was a grown man with 2 kids and a wife. I was only 17. And that's when I knew I had to make a difference. If not me, who? If not now, when? I wrote my diploma thesis about misuse of power in the Swedish armed forces. I also started to write a book, my book, about my story, from boots to heels. I started to organize self-defense classes for women to help them feel safe and to help them have more self-confidence. My Beauty with a Purpose is about women in man-dominated fields. It's about gender equality, and it's about women supporting women. The Bible says faith and fear cannot coexist. Why? Because faith will always win over fear. Thank you.
Thank you, Sweden. And now, welcome Ukraine.
Hello world, Namaste India, Добрий ранок Ukraine. My name is Maria Melnichenko and I'm proud to represent my beloved homeland, Ukraine. At 20, I'm a professional model, student of finance and volunteer. And most importantly, someone raised by love and guided by purpose. I was born and raised in a large family. I'm one of 6 children, and life taught us to share not only food or clothes, but love, feelings, and strengths. From an early age, I learned to be strong, to care deeply, and to hold my family close. In our home, love was never scarce. It just came in many different forms. One of these forms was animals. Growing up, our home was always full with rescued pets, and my mom never said no when I brought home another stray. Instead, she let me love them, care for them, and learn from them. They gave me love without expecting anything in return. That's why now, as an adult, I feel a deep responsibility to give back, and I actively help animal shelters in Ukraine by not only as a tool, it was as a light for people that helps them grow and dream. This belief was instilled in me by my mother, and she always reminded me that education is something that no one can ever take away from you. And reality for many Ukrainians has changed dramatically. Because of the challenges we face as a nation, countless young people have lost this basic right. Universities were closed and opportunities disappeared. My own university, the State Tax University, was badly damaged, and I was there. I remember staying in front of the ruins. I remember that silence, and it changed me. It changed my life. Now, I understand that I have privileged my voice. In 2024, when I was crowned Miss Ukraine, that moment was unforgettable, but it was never about the title. It was about the voice. It was about the responsibility. And now I understand that people will listen to me. And that's why I became the global ambassador of the Rebel State Tax University. And our mission is very simple: to restore what was lost. This project isn't just about restoring walls, it's about restoring opportunities and hopes. It's about reminding the world that everyone has that chance to achieve education, and it's not a luxury, it's a human right. Every student deserves that chance regardless of age, gender, income, history. When we invest in education, we invest in peace, progress, and possibility. I dream of a world where every student has that chance. And I believe that no child, no student, and no dreamer should be left without that chance. Not in Ukraine, not anywhere. Thank you for listening to my heart.
Thank you, Ukraine. And finally, we move to the Welsh and Wales. There we are. Resplendent in the Welsh red colour.
Namaste. I'm a woman shaped on science, strength, and sparkles. Many things for me, family, friends, my career, but also the invisible things. A journey filled with challenges, resilience, and empowerment that brought me here today. I'm not perfect, and that's part of it. I have suffered with alopecia and severe allergies. Alopecia felt like I was losing part of my identity, but it taught me to redefine beauty, to look at myself and love what I see anyway. As a doctor in training, saving lives is at the core of what I do, so naturally my beauty with a purpose encompasses that. Growing up, I witnessed a lot of crime and violence. Over 200 lives were lost to knife crime in Wales and England in 1 year. That's a terrifying statistic, but it's not just a stat. Many of these were young people who had their whole life ahead of them. I felt helpless watching the growing epidemic of knife crime, so I wanted to use the skills I gained in medical school out in the community to empower young people with the tools and knowledge to react and counteract knife crime and violence. I'm the proud founder of Exeter Street Doctors, which teaches young people how to act as first responders in a situation of violence. We deliver workshops such as how to save a life in 8 minutes, which teaches how to deal with a knife injury, how to put someone in the recovery position, and how to perform CPR. I'm honoured to say Street Doctors educated over 13,000 young people just last year. Carrying my life-saving EpiPens and finding a lump at the side of my breast sparked the idea of Medic Millie Mondays. This series of videos allows me to raise awareness on health topics and educate the public on how to recognise red flag symptoms. Every 14 seconds, somewhere in the world, a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer, and I lost my granny to breast cancer. So that's why one of my first Medic Millie videos was how to check your breasts for lumps. 1 in 2 of us will get cancer, and through my career, I have seen just how harrowing that journey can look. My wonderful grandpea is living with cancer, so becoming a Cancer Research Wales ambassador just made sense. I have been challenged on how medicine and pageantry align. The fact is, they aren't opposites, but they're parallels. They're both about having a purpose, being present, and making a difference. My journey into pageantry may have been written in the stars. My mum was named after Miss World Helen Morgan from Wales, and she actually had Miss World written on her crib in the hospital. My values are very important to me: kindness, honesty, and the courage to speak for the voiceless, even if my own voice is shaking. I don't fit in, I stand out. I'm a doctor in training, a change maker, a feminist, and powerful because of my story. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wales. I think from the presentations today, you can all see how different every person who's spoken today, how different they all are, except in one way,